fucking done? We should have had we should have started episode 1 with Little Root Town and then just kept progressing like through the routes.
Oh,
and
yeah,
towns.
that would have been great.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yo, I want to throw some Naruto sad bench music in here.
And do your thing. I'm not the one editing it.
Yeah, but I'll have to find somewhere where I can rip that.
Yeah, Craig's in here, so.
Yeah, we could hear Craig fucking joining the little shit.
How you doing, Craig?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Now recording.
Yeah.
We ready to go? Actually,
8-bit Little Root Town slaps.
let me pull up Tifers
Why are you pulling up Tifers?
so I can have results and stuff.
Oh. I also just call it Tiffers half the time.
We always call it Tifers.
That's gay.
You're gay.
No, you.
Fuck off.
That's what I thought. That was probably the gayest exchange possible.
Yeah, that's a way to start off the podcast. That's a great cold open.
Oh, 100%.
Huh? I wasn't paying attention.
That's probably because you're focused on surviving.
You're definitely right. My
Tyler
body's...
is in the midst of trying to win 8-ball pool.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, well, alright.
That might have to be a conversation for post-pod.
Definitely
All right.
post-pod.
Let's go.
I am barely surviving and currently getting my ass whipped in an 8-ball pool. Last night, my body, specifically my stomach, said no.
Yep.
It said no about 40 times.
I believe, just to enlighten everyone, because I think this is very important to address pre-intro. It's because you're fructose intolerant, correct?
Apparently, yeah.
And
Forgot
what
about
you
that.
have?
I had 2 bananas, one after the other, and nothing else.
Lovely.
So,
So you had.
I mean, it was either that, or the Taco Bell I had the night before.
So you
It might have
expressed
been
your
both.
you expressed your inner Jackson Pollock that night.
Oh God, sure. if that's how you want to put it.
That's exactly how I want to put it.
Interesting.
That being said, welcome to the official episode number 6 of the Unattached podcast, where we are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many other fine streaming services. I'm Spencer Mahon.
I'm Shreyas Sriram.
And I'm Tyler Bowman.
Not
said that
really.
And I suck
Sorry,
at
go ahead.
8-ball pool.
Go ahead.
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
saying I said that in the most monotonous fucking voice ever.
Not a ton to cover, but still a lot in terms of the college landscape. We also had a road 10K record go down, which we're going to talk about as well. What I do want to start with, of course, let's start with training recaps.
Why not?
Because that's where we always start.
Tyler, kick it off.
He probably did
Well-
nothing because he was sicker than a dog.
Are we turkey trot recapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Well, I did run the turkey trot with my brother, who's in town from the Air Force, specifically one of the Carolinas. Not really sure which one. We ran that in 29:50 something.
Fuck yeah.
We were just chilling. Yesterday, well, not yesterday, because, oh yeah, I guess yesterday. We're gonna pretend like it's Wednesday right now. Still, well, Monday and Tuesday I ran. I was just jogging. And then Wednesday I had sickness, so I did not run Wednesday. But I'll probably run tomorrow since no matter how bad I feel, because I just got in my brand new light blue Vomero 14s, which I definitely didn't need to buy. But Black Friday's Black Friday, and I have no self-control.
Does anybody have any self-control?
Well, you don't. You just bought a new pair of, you want to share?
I bought new shorts. That's it.
Yeah, but how much were they?
I don't have to disclose that price.
Okay.
They were
But you-
$123.
Yeah, no, they were about half that.
No, they were half that. They are they're good quality though. You know,
They're
Tracksmith
good quality
is
shorts.
no matter what Ben says, Tracksmith is
high quality
all right.
stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
You do have 4 pairs of them though.
5.
5 now? Okay. Well, that's more than I would spend on shorts, but I don't run as much as you do though.
That still isn't the most I've spent on shorts.
Enlighten us.
I bought a pair of the Nike I think it was 2016 Rosa and Company shorts. So like the blue with the white check and the gold arrow blades. Those cost me $100.
Okay.
Big deep investments up in you.
And I got relentlessly made fun of for that on my team when I wore them to practice. They're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, fair enough, but also, like, those were still pretty sick. Let's be real.
I still have them. They're fucking good shorts, too.
Yeah. Do you want to just transition right there into your training week?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So, we're starting on Thanksgiving. I just did 7 easy miles, just kind of randomly ran a loop in my hometown. That Friday was 7 miles at marathon tempo. I went out to the 2-mile road loop where I do a good handful of these workouts and ran there. It was 3 times around, and then I pretty much cut the loop in half and made it like a 1.5 mile loop to finish. And I just finished in the middle of that loop and did 4x200 back. But that was a really solid workout. I averaged 5:24. I was hovering right around about 5:25 to 5:29 the whole time, with a variance of 1 to 2 seconds either way. And I, like a jackass, decided to close in 5:10. So that was on me entirely. And then I just did 5 miles easy Saturday. What do you mean? Hold on.
No, I just said you pulled a Zach Levitt. Just fucking cranked it.
Yeah, we can talk about that. We might as well give CIM predictions, because isn't that next weekend? Or this coming weekend?
This coming weekend, and I got to hype up one of my guys, but I'll get to that later. Go on.
Yeah,
it is about time we do CIM predictions.
Yeah.
So that'll be something to talk about towards the end of the podcast.
Oh,
Sunday was the long run. This was a fun one. I met up with an old teammate of mine, and we went out to the nature center that's not too far from where I went to college. I showed him a loop that I randomly came up with when I got lost one day. And what I ended up trying to do is out by Hopkins International Airport, there's the NASA Glenn Research Center at Lewis Field. And there's a street that goes around one end of the airport called Aerospace Parkway. I thought that I could connect Aerospace Parkway, so that's exactly what I tried to do. It just so happened that we jogged right into Glenn Research Center's driveway. And there was a guy outside of the gates, and my Strava title is pretty much word for word what the conversation was. And if you guys don't follow any of us on Strava, the links are in the show notes to do that. But if you look on my Strava, it says, "Are y'all NASA employees?" My buddy replies with, "No." And then he said, "Then I'm going to have to ask you guys to get off the premises."
Wonderful.
And so we promptly turned around and left and had a good laugh about it on the way back.
Whoops.
Yeah, definitely whoops indeed. Going into this week, started Monday with 7 miles easy. Well, I guess you can say easy, but it was at 6:35 pace.
Well, that's like easy for you, isn't it?
Easy-ish. It was like a slow progression down into like the very high 620s. So I felt pretty comfortable.
Fair.
yesterday, at least when we're recording this, I did a 6 mile threshold around the Shaker Lakes Nature Center. There is a 1 mile, about a 1 mile road loop that a couple of some really good friends that I know who live out that way run all the time, and it's pretty much up on one side, down on the other. So you get a little bit of both. You climb about 30 to like 35 feet on one side, but you drop that on the other side. So it's very even. But when you go back up towards the point, towards the top of the hill, I should say, it's like this like slow climb over about 600 meters where it's just barely enough to where you notice it and you're working just that little bit harder. It was probably the best effort that I could have given for a threshold run on that day. I averaged 5:19 for that. And let me tell you what, that I finished and I was standing like halfway up that long 600 meter hill. And I'm like, I'm breathing a little bit harder than I should be for a fucking threshold run. So I come back and look at the data afterwards. Yeah, my heart rate was in the mid 180s. So I was working a bit harder, and it's probably due to a multitude of reasons, due to it being cold, working into the wind going up that hill, by the way. So that probably didn't help my case. But still, really solid workout. Power-wise, that was about 6 to 8 watts higher than I usually would average on a threshold day like that. I was closer to 290 the whole way through, rather than the 285, which is my stated critical power at this moment in time.
That's from Stride, right?
Yeah, that's from Stride. I'd say that's still a pretty solid day. And then today's run, I took a couple of loops that I used to run. Well, one loop I used to run, and then the other was a loop that my friend's girlfriend showed me, where it just goes out by the IX Center and the airport and just goes back to campus. It's just pretty much 8 mile cube, I guess you can say, for lack of a better term. So I took that 8 mile cube and connected that to a route that the guys team called Airport, where we pretty much running along the property line of Hopkins International Airport, and then we just dip back down onto the parkway, and it goes down a very, very steep drop. So that was my run today, 13 miles. I also jumped on the cross-country course for 2 circuits that we have down at my old campus, and that was actually probably a more welcome change because I spent the majority of my medium long run today on pavement.
Yuck.
Owie.
I mean,
I do almost all of my long runs on pavement.
I mean, it definitely could have been worse. After running the threshold workout yesterday, just having a lot of up and down, it was nice to at least step on some grass for a little bit. And along the northern part of this big 8 mile cube, there's like that like soft, almost like chat surface on the side of the road that I was running on. And I was interchanging that like chat surface with pavement until I ran out of chat surface and then went onto the sidewalk on the other side of the street. But in total, last week was 69 miles.
Nice.
I'm at 32 so far right now.
Nice.
And I plan on doubling tomorrow before I work 7 to 3 a.m. So that's going to be fun.
That's fucking gross.
It could be worse.
7 p.m. to 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's a horrendous shift. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it sounds like shit.
I mean, it's easy shit, so like I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess.
I board up Thursday night football and the Coach Freddie Kitchen show for the radio station that I work with, and then I do overnight production for for two of the other three stations in the cluster that I work for. So
don't get me started on Freddie Kitchens, dude.
Yeah, we're not talking football. This is a running podcast.
I just want to say that it took him this long again to realize that Baker Mayfield is not good at throwing deep. He's not good at throwing deep because our offensive line is not good enough to allow him to drop back that far in the pocket. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say, our offensive line is horrendous.
Kitchens realized this last year when he took over, right? And he fixed it. And then this year, it seems like he went crazy.
But it wasn't Kitchens who took over. It was Greg Williams. Greg Williams actually fixed it, if I'm not mistaken.
Fixed what? The play calling?
Yeah.
I've heard that Kitchens did. Anyway, I don't know who it is, but
they're a disaster. That's the whole point of this. They're fucking disaster.
For the first half the season, we were trying to force Baker Mayfield into a role that he just literally can't play. We just went crazy because we were like, oh, we have so many good skill position players, and we were like, oh, they'll just carry it. But then it took them 8 games to realize oh wait, the offensive line can't support that at all. So we should just do hard play actions, and never mind. It's this is a running podcast.
Yeah, that's why we're not getting into this.
I think we should get into it at the end. If we have time, we should get into it at the end, yeah.
There's a good video on it if either of you guys want to watch it at one point. It's
you
30
can
minutes
to us.
long.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
So Turkey Trot went all right. My only goal was to run 17:46 because Nick Simmons said he ran 17:47. I succeeded. I ran 17:27.
Hey.
According to the mile markers, I was even at 5:35, 5:36-ish. But my GPS watch showed the much more realistic story of me running 5:31, 5:40, 5:48. So, yeah, that went all right. Normally that kind of time would basically be a shoo-in for at the very least top 5 or better. But this time around, a bunch of fuckers showed up. This guy from Stanford Running Club showed up. 2 guys showed up, decked out fully in Portland gear, in a jersey. And so I was just you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
The moment they started cutting down after the first mile, I was just nah. I'ma just do me. I'll just stick on to these guys. I'll catch 1 or 2 people and call it good, which is what I did. I was 18th or 19th at the mile. And then, normally at the mile at 5:30, that would at least put me in, 2nd or, 3rd. But this year, I guess it just got competitive as hell. And, yeah, I was, 19th at the mile, and I think I finished in 14th. So, I'll take it. But, yeah, and then after that, basically did almost nothing the next 2 days just because I had a half marathon on Sunday, which went pretty good. I was intending to take it as, a workout / tempo. I was figuring maybe sub 80 on a pretty good day if I felt good and wanted to get after it. Breaking news, I did not. I ran 82:18 after seeing that mile 10, the end of mile 10 and the beginning of mile 11 had a fucking horrendous hill. I thought I was going to be able to take it on until I saw it, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. And before that, we had a couple of tight turns in this little park on the outskirts of or not on the outskirts, on the out edges of a lake in Seattle. And all those turns just ruined my groove, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. Went up the hill, and then in the last mile, I got completely annihilated by this 239 woman, where I believe my official split was a 5:50 and her official split was a 5:38 for the last mile. So she completely smoked the living. See, and I thought she caught me a little bit after the hill, and I thought I was helping her out because she looked like she was going through a rough patch, she was grabbing her side, she had a stitch or something, and I don't even know. And so I was kind of all right, you know what? I was just gonna fuck around till the end and try and catch the one high school kid that's ahead of me, which we both caught him. But then I was all right, I'm gonna help her out too. Let's get back on 6 flat pace. Let's see what she wants to do. And I'm looking over my shoulder, trying to make sure she's staying on as I'm cranking down the pace. And then the instant we passed the high school kid and hit the mile 12 marker, she just fucking blows by me I'm not even moving. And I'm oh, okay. So you were just treating this as an actual workout too. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with how good an average of 6:14 felt, especially given that I also took it out in a 5:31 mile uphill. So like knowing that I still kind of had that level of aerobic system in me before I start training seriously now was pretty good to know. Not to mention I had shitty sleep, dude. I had like 4.5 hours of sleep at best. I was in bed for maybe like 8 hours, but I could not sleep for the life of me at the start. So like all of those, I was like, you know what? I'll deal with this. That said, I had like this weird little knee thing that popped up afterwards. I guess like on not even like on the front of my knee, like behind my knee on the interior. I believe like the interior of your elbow is called the weenus. So it's the weenus of the knee.
No, that's
oh my god.
That's the extra skin on the outside.
Whatever the hell it is. It's on the interior inside behind the knee. And so that's been kind of annoying the past couple days. Yeah, my knee pit. And so yeah, so because of that, I did a little bit on the treadmill today at the gym. Did about 3 miles in 20 minutes. I took it a little bit faster because I think normally coming back from an injury, sometimes going a little bit faster gives me an idea of how bad the injury actually is. Because if I go really slow, it'll be fine. But if I go fast, it'll kind of like hurt. So going fast didn't hurt, which was good. So because of that, instead of doing an hour of biking like I've been doing the past 3 days, tomorrow I'm going to head out to a nice little path by the lake and do a 4x mile at threshold effort with about a quarter mile or 2-minute jog, just to get the legs turning over to get some real training started.
Nice.
I'm done. Yeah.
Nice.
I love fucking editing the horrendously long pauses we have.
Oh, do you actually do that?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
dude, I cut the living shit out of them. Are you kidding me?
You mean like this pause right here?
Yes.
Yeah. So that one specifically, Elliot. But yeah, I think the worst.
Just to give the listeners an idea, that's usually how long the pauses are.
Yeah, that's honestly usually like I think I've cut it down because occasionally we'll all have like really bad cadence or just say repeatedly and like have giant pauses. But I think the longest time that I've cut down was I think episode 4, which ended up being about 90 minutes or so. And I believe the initial one of that before I cut down the pauses was closer to 100 minutes. So I cut down nearly like 4 to 5 minutes of just pauses.
That's insane.
Like huge pauses. Well, admittedly, I'm also taking some of them out in between our speaking style. So like right here, like when I just said like there would have been like a little gap that I might take out. But that's just because like there's a certain point where there's like the flow of speaking, which is natural, and then there's another point when you're just being dumb and you don't remember a word. So, yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah, that happens. Very relatable.
All right, moving on.
Where do we want to start?
I
want to start with the 10K.
Yes,
I was just wondering.
Actually,
before that, I was wondering. I just wanted to make a quick comment about Jenkins outkicking Ches for the Manchester Road Race. That's all I wanted to say about it.
Jenkins still has some speed. He was a 1500 guy, if I wasn't mistaken, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, Ches consistently kicked his ass, but
I mean, yeah, but maybe this is a turning point for Jenkins. Who knows?
I think it's that Ches is wearing Skechers, dude.
Okay.
That's gotta be
right. No bullshit.
Not to throw shade at anybody who wears Skechers, but like he is wearing Skechers.
Skechers, they make quality running shoes. Okay.
Or that, or Jenkins.
Come on, what's Jenkins wearing?
Nike.
Exactly.
Well, he used to be NOP, so maybe the sauce hasn't run out yet.
Oh. Okay.
Nah, I'm kidding.
We can't even go an episode without a fucking NOP reference.
Yeah, sorry, that one had.
They
to
don't
be
even
done.
exist
to be
anymore.
honest, Jenkins one of the ones that I don't think because he came in hella late. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I thought since we didn't do Turkey Trot stuff last time, we should just mention that race because it's important. And then Tin Man, I don't think Sam Parsons. I don't think he returned, but I think Jeff Thies, if that's how you pronounce his name, kept the dub for Tin Man.
I thought it was Thies and Templeton, and then someone else. I can't remember the name. And I think it was Templeton who won Silicon Valley.
Are you guys talking about the U.S. Road 5K champs?
No,
we're talking about Silicon Valley Turkey Trot. Yeah,
really?
That was Templeton.
Templeton took the dub. Yeah.
Yeah, he was scorching by people that last little bit. That was
quite impressive.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, let's move on. 10K world record.
I wonder when the Tin Men are gonna add a Tin Women group.
I think they already got a few.
Yeah, but like officially.
Oh yeah.
You know, like where they show up on the website and everything. Because I feel like they would sell just as much women's merch as men's.
Oh God, yeah. Dude, I watched this 10K world record from Valencia. That was unreal.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing like 3 or 4 hours ago.
Cheptegei is a monster.
They hit 1K, and Cheptegei looks down at his watch like eight times, no joke. And then sprints by everybody, and I'm like, what the hell?
I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
He's looking down at his watch every like 3 seconds, probably just dialing in pace, and then just goes for it, and just everybody's gone. It's just him after like
5 kilometers.
4K, yeah, 5K or 4K. It's just him. He's running 3:19 or 13:19 5Ks back to back. Oh, it's filthy.
Also, I think one of the articles on World Athletics is actually wrong, I think, because it says he opened in 2:42 and then the second one was 2:40, but they say that the 2K split was 5:42, which doesn't add up. So it's 5:22. Just calling out World Athletics right there for false information.
He did open up with a 2:42. That I can verify. And then he ran. Then I think he ran
2:40.
Yeah, then he ran 2:38, I think, for his second K, just to.
Well, then it's even more wrong, but.
Well, yeah, because that would make the 2K split 5:20.
Yeah.
Which is gross. Considering that one of my workouts this week is supposed to be done at 5:09 a mile, and knowing that Cheptegei would lap me when I'm doing 3x2K at 15K pace.
Yeah.
Like, knowing he would definitely lap me. Maybe twice. I don't know. So
wouldn't surprise me. Man's an animal.
Yeah, so, and after 5K, I think he ran 2:38, 2:36, 2:37, and like 2:39, and then closed in like a 2:35 or something like that. And that was the disgusting part. That was the part that actually got him under the former road 10K world record of 26:44. So that was a very masterful piece of racing, I would have to say.
Yeah, to know that you're just going too slow at
1K.
At 1K, and just to be like, yeah, this is too slow, guys. I can't even imagine being like confident enough to do that.
Dude, the balls that he had to run in front of his pace are unbelievable.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
Isn't it also what at halfway he was 13:23, and I think the world road 5K record is 13:22.
He was, I thought he was 13:40.
I'm looking at, well, I guess I'm still looking at the World Athletics one, which was wrong enough about the first two, but it says he went 2:42, 5:22, 7:57, 13:23 for 5K, 8K in 21:37, and then and then he clocked whatever the fuck the end was.
Let me check here really quick.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I don't know. But
so I just found it. His pacer pulls off 13 minutes 30 seconds into the race. At this point, he had not passed 5 kilometers yet.
Oh, okay. Then this is just pathetically wrong. Holy shit.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, where are you looking?
Yeah, I'm watching the actual race. I pulled up the actual race.
Before 5K, you're saying he was...
Yeah, there's no way he was...
before 5K.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
There's no way, dude. He ran 26:38.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance he ran the last.
Never mind.
5K and almost 13 flat.
Yeah.
He came through in 13:23 or 4, something along those lines.
Yeah. It says 13:23, and I think the 5K world record is 13:22 for the roads.
Oh, so he broke that then.
Shit.
No, he didn't.
He was
1 second
close.
off. He was 1 second off.
with his second 5K.
Oh yeah, with his second 5K, then yeah, he would have, because it would have been what 13:16.
Let's be fair though, he did have a running start on that one, but
that's true.
It doesn't matter.
Wild.
It doesn't matter. The speed in that last 5K, because he did pick it up.
Is that gonna be verified? Because
I was gonna say, can you actually verify that?
Yeah, It is. It would be en route.
Yeah,
but
they have, because I think a lot of 15, or at least the old 15K world record before the Zevin Heuvelin loop one, for the women was
that
on
en
route
route to a half marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throwing out the cold Zevin Heuvelin loop.
Yeah, I had to do it this time. I was kind of nervous leading up to it, but
We
yeah.
talked a little about
So he set the
that.
5K and the 10K then? Road?
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, we can say that. I'm not 100% certain if it's verified. We would have to check on that.
Yeah, I'm looking at worldathletics.org, which, like I said, I would trust if not for the fact that they said that his 2K split was 5:42, which is just absurdly slow.
Yeah, that means he ran a 3-minute second kilometer, which is not the case at all.
Yeah, especially when he picked up like that. But
yeah.
absolutely
that's
crazy.
how it feels in real life for me if I tried a 2:42 first kilometer.
I probably would end up not doing well at all.
That'd be all out probably.
That might be all out for me, to be quite honest.
Yeah, let's be real here. What is that? That's like a 2:08 to open in.
For an 800?
Yeah. Because I'm assuming after that at 34 last 200, so that's like a 2:08.
Yeah, if you pace consistently.
Yeah. That's no thanks. I'm good.
I think I'd be damn close to being done after the opening 208.
Yeah, the 2:08 would be bull. I don't even know if I could run 2:08 right now, but yeah.
I would not be able to run 208 because, like, I'll do 200s at the end of workouts. If I go anything around 27 or 28, I'm tying up with at least 50 meters to go.
Yeah. Sad times.
And that tells me, like, if I were to try, I might be able to run 32.5 comfortably, which means I'd come through splitting 2:10 pace.
Yeah.
Which is
that
not
better.
But still, that is not that's not 242K pace.
Yeah. Negatory.
That's like, I think that's 245.
Did anyone even split under 245 at NCAAs?
For a K?
Yeah. I'm like genuinely curious now. That wasn't even like a pathetic attempt at a segue. I'm genuinely curious.
I don't think they did.
Absolutely not.
No way.
There's no chance.
The average time through team scores 3108, 3120, 3115, 3122, 3131, 3131, 3133. There's no chance.
Didn't Kiplagat win in what, 30 something?
30-32.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, there's no chance he ran fucking 245
at all.
I mean, he's running closer to 30. He's running 303K pace.
Yeah.
If I can throw a number on that.
Maybe his last one would be, or his first.
I don't know. If for him to have run 245, it would have been slow as hell at the start, and it definitely wasn't slow with the.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Did you guys see the racing strategy breakdown by FlowTrack?
Not yet.
For BYU.
I think they only had one for BYU in Arkansas though, right? On the women's side.
It was like a breakdown of like how starting faster in that race at NCAA is just completely changed how NAU
in a positive
ran.
or negative way.
It was positive to start it faster, because there were so many people running so fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would assume that, because I remember like at the start line video that like FlowTrack even tweeted, because that's like one of the only things that I saw was Cooper Tier just like fucking
bolting out
off the start line. He was out there so fucking fast, and I'm like, you know what? That's probably necessary at a race of this level where everyone like is going to try and get out fast to avoid getting.
It was a ballsy strategy too. It was ballsy and it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paid off in a big way.
No, what was he, 5th? 6th?
Let's see, Cooper Tier.
I think he was 6th.
Yeah, he was 6th.
Yeah.
Connor Mance stayed in it the whole way. Connor Mance ran a tough fucking race and he came in 3rd. So I was fucking stoked that BYU won, because I was watching the broadcast because one of my old college coaches has a Flow Pro account that he lets anyone affiliated formerly or currently with my college team use. So he let me, head track coach's mother and a couple other people have access to it. And
Nice.
and I was able to watch Division 1, Division 3, and Division 2.
Oh, that's dope.
I literally watched every single step of every race.
Very nice.
If only they would put them up online in full.
Yeah, no kidding.
know, to
They'll
like,
do
you
that.
know, like benefit.
I'm
do
sure
that
sport or
someone
something.
would have on
online.
Twitch or something. Someone was definitely live streaming it off Twitch or something. That's the other thing. I just want to say, like, FlowTrack's like quality of their stream is absolute fucking dog shit.
Oh yeah, like video
try.
quality.
The video quality, the transition. I mean, like, I'll grant you weather
Mhm.
conditions at the best, but even then, for a company who has this much money, who is
Just
definitely money whoring
steak.
the living shit out of other people, you can get high-end weatherproof camera equipment that also like can transmit over that in order to stream for an extended period of time. Hell, even like the old NCAA streams, like back when Spence and I were in college, before FlowTrack took over, like the D3 NCAA streams, they were better than the shit FlowTrack puts out.
Yeah,
And
the only thing I like about the FlowTrack coverage is that they have
Guys like
Yeah,
Jared
you-
Ward.
the only good thing about the coverage being FlowTrack is that they have Kevin Soley commentating.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Sully knows his shit too, so
Yeah, he does.
Wait, why
Shout
would you
out
wanna
to
cut
his
that part?
podcast, the House of Run podcast.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, on D1, do we have anything else on the men's side?
not much, like outside of the fact that I was kind of shocked that BYU got so buried. Not BYU, Northern Arizona got so buried off the start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if how many of them went out that fast though, because I at least remember seeing some of the splits, and weren't they in like third by like 3 or 4K? Like they were still kind of farther back.
Yeah, they were like fifth at 2K and then third and at 4K or something like that.
Yeah, wild. I mean, even then, that's still an impressive for. I definitely want to see the entire FlowTrack NAU stuff because that seems dope as hell.
Yeah, running with the boys, I think they call it.
Yeah. That
That-
seems extremely dope. So I want to check that out.
Hopefully they'll post that online at least
Yeah.
in a year so the public can see this.
I think the first episode is free on there, and then
Oh, really?
most of the time you can find something on Twitch or YouTube very shortly. Surprisingly, one place where a lot of people don't look is either Vimeo or Dailymotion, because a lot of people will still just post like ripped content on there. And yeah, welcome to moral and ethical boundaries that I'm willing to cross. Segment over.
Yeah, and honestly, like I literally have a Dailymotion tab open for the 1993 show Boy Meets World. Like I'm literally about to go through and watch all 7 seasons.
You're obsessed
Nice.
with it. Watching like old 90s and 2000s TV shows right now, aren't you?
I'm about to restart
Yeah.
Victorious on Netflix.
There you go.
It has to be done. I watch the show every now and then, but I never fully committed. So now that it's there, I have to take opportunity. All
Yeah,
right,
and
moving on.
moving on to
D1 women,
Yeah,
Arkansas.
D1 women. Arkansas.
Hell
I-
yeah.
Did you guys really not recap this when I was gone?
No, we didn't because we wanted to wait for you, Tyler.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, we decided to be nice. That's why last episode was episode 5.5. We skipped NCAAs, mainly because I think we'll get to the D2 part where Spence has exciting news that he's been excited about for a week and a half.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so D1 women, Arkansas.
Hell
Wayne
yeah.
Equality for the dub. Alicia Monson second place. Taylor Werner with the big number 3.
4 actually. Katie
Was it 4?
Izzo. Yeah, Katie Izzo
Katie
was
Izzo
third.
was third. Yeah. But still, absolutely.
Yeah, BYU, they actually made it close because they had 5, 6, 7.
Mhm.
So BYU actually had 3 in front of Arkansas's 3.
Yeah, but then Arkansas just had the back. They had 3, 4, 5. Just
Well,
Right
they
there.
had 4. They had 4. They didn't have 5.
do they not have 5?
Arkansas's 5 was 52. BYU's was 43.
Oh, so it was just very narrow.
They had number 4.
It was the 1-2 punch that carried it.
Yeah, because this is this is Arkansas's 5 scoring line. 3, 4, 16, 21, 52. Now to BYU, 5, 6, 7, 41, 43.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
This is a case, and I think a lot of college races come down to it. Now, this is going against the grain of the like high school belief of you're only as good as your number 5, which usually that works in high school. In college, number 4 is just as important as 5 or just that bit more important, because if you can get 4 in front of the second place team's 4, you're probably going to end up winning that.
Yeah.
No matter where your 5 is, especially if you have low sticks.
Well, to me, it's just because I never ran cross, so looking at it and everybody talking about like, oh, it really matters how good your 1 is, and everybody else is like, oh, it matters how good your 5 is. I look at it and I'm like, oh, I think all of them matter. I don't like the argument on like which one matters more, because to me it just doesn't make any sense. And I hate when teams try to at like big meets they try to like run together. Is it like,
oh god, dude,
but like I feel like every person should like pace their own race. I don't know.
I think the team thing makes sense because for the most part, let's be real, like most races are pretty much 3K for 8K distance. It's pretty much just like 3K where you're kind of just like mixing it up, trying to get like I feel like it's 3K of figuring out where you're going to settle, and then 5K of actual racing. Like that's how it ends up being half the time. So the team thing I feel like makes sense because then you get, at least because for the most part, like most of the time, at least our coach was pretty much just like, yeah, like between 3 and 5K is the point when it's like kind of okay to split apart from your team, but like try and pack around a little bit then. But beyond that, I think it's also just like a mental thing where it's like, all right, this is how it is in workouts. We're all just cruising together. Like you can bring a little bit more out of it where it's like, all right, I'm looking at my teammates back. I don't want to lose to him. So, but that's like the pack running thing for the entire race. I don't know if that's ever been advised. And if so, I agree that that's probably kind of dumb.
No.
But pack running through like 3 to 5K, I get.
We've had teams in my conference specifically. Otterbein was grossly good at doing this. In Ohio Northern, when they had former NJNY athlete Matt Molinaro and Ian McVeigh, along with a solid 3rd and 4th guy, those 1 through 4 would just pack up and run. And they at least 3 of those 4 guys would be a low stick. So you have Molinaro, McVeigh, and Spencer Schulz as your 1, 2, 3. And at a conference meet, that's 1, 3, and 10, for example. Ohio Northern is going to be very close. And they did win the conference once or twice just by doing that, pack running up until a certain point. But that's when McVeigh and Molinaro would usually split from Schulz. That's just kind of how Ohio Northern's dynamic was, is their front 4 or 5 always ran as a group until like 2K to go, and then the top 2 or 3 would always like ease away, and they just made it look so effortless. I couldn't fucking believe it. Another team, like I mentioned, that's really good at doing this is Otterbein. It helps that they have a guy in Chase Hampton who's like an 850 or an 840 something steeplechaser. Then they have...
That is serious. That is serious business right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Division I transfer from Michigan.
Oh, well, that fucking makes sense.
But he's from that area, so it made sense, considering that like he wasn't exactly happy with his situation up there, that he came down and essentially came back home and ran for essentially a hometown school, and he's made his mark, let me tell you. It helps that they have Chase up there. It helps that they have a really solid 10K guy who's run 31:20 in Max Hoffman, another guy who's run in the 31:30s in Jamie Arrett, and then they have Jacob Thompson, who's like a 9.0 steeplechaser as their number 4, and then they have a really solid 5, 6, 7. Those 4 always pack up and run. And it's usually Max and Chase who go to the front. Jake and Jamie, they always work their way up. I mean, they're always in the front group, but they make their living off of just picking off guys who fall off of Chase and Max. So to an extent, I guess you can say that's pack running, but it's kind of more or less paired off. And usually, again, 3 or 4 of those guys are low sticks. The way the Ohio Athletic Conference meet ended up shaking out, Chase ended up winning, Max was third, and I think Jamie was like 10 or 11. He might have been inside the top 10. I can't remember off the top of my head.
This is your team, right?
No, this is another team that we ran against in college, but I'm very familiar with.
So you just got their names off the top of your head?
Yeah, I know all 4 of those
impressive.
guys.
Okay, you know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm friends with all 4 of those guys, to be quite honest with you.
Fair enough. Yeah. Go on. Sorry. I was just curious.
But that's how Ohio Northern won a conference championship in cross. That's how Otterbein ended up winning it this year. That's how their women have done it. At least when I was there, they did it all 4 years. That's exactly the same way they did it.
Well, how did they do it NCAAs? I guess we might as well just transition to D3 with that.
Yeah, let me pull it up here. Otterbein on the men's side, since they were there as a team, believe they were 20th overall. They averaged a time of 25:38. They did have an All-American in the aforementioned Chase Hampton, as he was 12th overall, scoring a total of 10 points. Looking down, Jamie Arrett was second score, 57 points, 70th place overall. I'm going to have to Control F this to find who I'm looking for, because I don't want to be scrolling through results. Third guy across the line was Max Hoffman. He was 132nd. Spencer Strom was their 4th across the line, and he scored 207th place for 159 points. Ryan Estes, 26-27, 241, and 180 scored. And that wraps up Otterbein's scoring. Jacob Thompson was 259th, 205 points. And Alex Clevenger was 270th with 215 points. Those are
what did they place?
I was saying 259 for Jacob Thompson and 270th for Alex Clevenger.
Well, what about the team?
Like as a team?
I said 20th. I let off with that.
Got it.
Oh, yep. Okay. How many teams were there in D3?
32, I believe. Let me scroll back to the top. Yeah, 32 teams.
It was 32 teams. Your boys, RPI got 10th.
Oh, RPI got 10th? Nice.
Did they?
RPI got 10th. We got 2 All-Americans. Joey Domenico coming out of the woodwork with the 14th place, and then Noah, who won the region, got 30th place. So we got both of them as some 2 low sticks. I think 10th place is the highest our team has ever placed on the men's side. I think a couple of years ago, I think we were 13th. But yeah, so that it was a pretty good showing, especially because we have a fairly deep team. But in terms of like very low sticks, we don't really have much beyond, I guess, Joey and Noah at this point. But yeah, pretty good. I think this is Noah's strongest XC performances, and I think it's also the longest he's been healthy, like consistently, because I've been seeing his log and stuff. So I'm pretty excited to see what he pulls off in track, because he's been an All-American in the 1500. He's run some baller miles and some baller 1500s. I think his 1500 PR is 348. I'm blanking on the mile PR, but I think when he ran it at D3 Nationals indoors, he whipped out I think a sub 2 last 800, just absolutely ridiculous. And,
I mean, to be fair, they always jog the first half mile of all those races.
Well, yeah, but I think the net time was still somewhere in the vicinity of 10 or less. So, that's not screwing around as much.
No.
Yeah,
definitely not. Patrick.
And how many of the RPI guys are returning?
No. So I think 4 out of the 7 are returning.
That's still pretty solid.
So yeah. But I think it's the back end of the 4 of the 7.
Yeah. I do want to mention.
I mean, they're still very strong, because I think Henry Drox is a guy who he has run, I believe, mid mid 14s indoors, and he's also busted out a 17-mile just like out of nowhere. He's never had that kind of, at least he never had shown that kind of speed. I think when he ran that, it was, I believe, a 12 or 13 second PR. So
Jesus.
just absolutely demolished the field when he ran that. So like they definitely have a lot of talent on the track side. I think just RPI is not. I think some of them have had some injuries that they've been coming back with. But overall, yeah, still a strong performance. 10th is the strongest our team's ever done, and the average time was 25:19, which was pretty good given the conditions on the day. So
yeah, just for reference here, 25:19 for an average time would have scored you 78th place, and that was an individual from Gustavus Adolphus Grant. Yeah, Garrett Grant is the guy's name. I didn't even know that was the name of a university until now, to be quite honest. So, because there's a lot of Division III schools. I believe Division III is by far the largest division in the NCAA.
Yeah.
I do want to mention Patrick Watson from Stevenson was the individual champion, and he just, watching his last mile just as he eased away from the field, that was something to watch. That was very impressive. And given that Patrick is a senior, that's one hell of a send-off.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I didn't necessarily outline this in quick hitters, but Shreyas, I believe you and I did talk about this. North Central lost.
Yeah, North Central lost. We mentioned it very briefly.
They lost to Pomona Pitzer.
Yeah, which Pomona Pitzer, one of the guys who used to counsel with me at this running camp I went to, used to run for Pomona Pitzer, and he was no joke. So Pomona Pitzer, like, I'm not very familiar with them, but I do know a couple of guys that have run there before, and none of them were screwing around. So I'm not terribly shocked because I've always known they've had extremely deep people. But not to mention, I think North Central lost, 4 of its 7 guys last year. So
yeah, they lost Patel. They lost their second guy, Al something. I forget his last name.
I think.
Yeah, that's it. They lost him. That was their 1-2 punch at Nationals last year, and I believe they were actually 1-2. So losing them actually hurts a ton.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at like Pomona Pitzer's line of 5, 13, 33, 55, 58.
Yeah.
Like North Central just got like straight outclassed in the first 2. 5 and 13 were the low sticks for Pomona Pitzer, and 9 and 26 were the low sticks for North Central.
That's ridiculous. That's actually a complete wipeout.
I was gonna say that, like, so there's 4 points between number 1 and number 2, and 13 points between the 2 number 2s. That's 17 of the 18 points that Pomona Pitzer eventually won by.
So it's just clean low sticks that got them the dub.
Yeah, and I mean, Tom Sawyer, like, it's fast, and it still ran fast. The winner ran 24:13.
Yeah.
And that's not fucking around at all. But I do want to mention 3 and 4, North Central did have the low sticks there, 33 and 32 for North Central, 55 for Pomona Pitzer, 46 for North Central. So they did gain back, I believe, 10 points there. And then the last 11 points that Pomona Pitzer had put them back up to 18, which was 58-69. So it was 1, 2, and 5 that essentially did it for Pomona Pitzer. But overall, Pomona Pitzer just, like, in terms of the 1-2 battle, they just had the better 1-2 punch. And looking at a lot of Nationals results, especially since North Central, at least in the Division III landscape, has won so dang much, it's looking at that, they always had a really good 1-2 punch. If they weren't first and second, they were like 4th and 5th. And then they always had a third that was like 12th. And this year for North Central, that just didn't happen.
Jeez.
On the women's side.
Yeah, okay, well, perfect. We both had the same idea. Hopkins, dub
John,
again. I think
yeah.
seven times now.
Was it 7 times?
It's either 6 or 7 because I have a friend who I
remember.
have 2 friends who go here. I have one friend who used to run for Hopkins, Ellie Clausen. Well, I wouldn't really say friend, but I know of her. And and then another guy here who used to run on the Hopkins guys side, and I believe it was 6 or 7 according to their story. But yeah, Hopkins
didn't Wash U win it last year?
No, it was Hopkins.
Oh, it was Hopkins.
I know. Ever since both of us have been in D3, I know for a fact it's been Hopkins.
I thought it was Wash U who won that last year. I can go back and check that if I need to.
I'm like 99% sure it was Hopkins. But yeah, and it
was Wash U that won it last year.
Last year?
I've been muted.
Yeah.
I've been muted.
Don't worry, Tyler. When we get to D2, I have nothing either. But
I don't think I said much other than like, oh, wow. So
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, with NCAAs, I guess there isn't, because with D1 and D2, like there is stuff, but for D3, I guess it's just going to be Spencer and I like talking shit. But I mean, all I really have beyond that is that RPI women, who I believe have 5 out of the 7 returning, with the 2 seniors being the 2 low sticks, Maggie Bond and Autumn Grimm. We got 13th, which I think may also be the highest placement the women has had. But yeah, pretty solid. I'm interested to see what they'll do in track, because Maggie Bond last year really turned around in the 5K. I believe she ran low 17s at one point. Unsure if she broke 17. I don't think she did. And then we also have Isabel Kaplazi, who's a junior, who has done really well in the steeplechase ever since she like turned to the distance. I think, for steeplechase, she made NCAAs last year. So this is, I think, a stronger performance from her, too, on the women's side, cross-country-wise. So I'm interested to see how she'll stack up at NCAAs for steeplechase come outdoor. That's all I got.
Yeah, I was just going to mention it was Wash U that won it last year. They upset Johns Hopkins because Johns Hopkins was the favorite last year, too. It was
Really?
It was 98-99.
Oh, yeah. I remember this shit.
I remember watching that, too.
Yeah. All right, do you got anything on your team?
We were 16th. Baldwin Wallace was 16th overall. I believe that was the 3rd highest finish in program history. They might have been 10th for their highest finish. I can't remember off the top of my head. So we did have, one All-American in Kelly Brennan, which is
big money.
Yeah, this was like the perfect way for her to cap off her cross-country career. She ran 22:05, scored 24 points. And as mentioned, she was the lone All-American. Alyssa Loeffner was 67th overall, scoring 45 points.
Are you going through your entire team right now?
I'm just going down the line of the scoring 5. 110th, Hastings Merrick, scoring 76. Maddie Kyle scoring 120 points, finishing 169th. And Melina Ott rounding out the scoring 5, 195th place, 144 points. I do want to mention my friend Lizzie Gilreath. She actually started out close to 280th place. She started off like in the back of the field. And I remember watching this race, I saw her come through the frame a couple of times, and I'm like, okay, she's in the back of the pack. And as the live splits kept rolling through, her name just kept steadily moving up. She had a really good race. She's one of the 10,000 meter specialists on the team, and this is probably by far the best showing that she's had in a season. This has been by far her best. I can't wait to see what she ends up doing on the track, because she's been able to juggle, not only juggle being on a national qualifying team, she's also been able to juggle ROTC with the U.S. Air Force. So that's always been a really interesting part, and she's done a fantastic job. Melina Ott, she's another one of those 10K specialists, but she kind of does everything. This was another good showing for her. Overall, this was a really good showing for the women's team. and they only graduate one. It's a very similar situation to what the Baldwin Wallace women had in 2018 after the national meet, where they came home disappointed as they didn't run like they expected to, and I believe they were 27th in the country in 2018 at the national meet after winning the Great Lakes Regional in an upset, essentially, because they virtually came out of nowhere.
Damn.
And that
That's
regional,
though.
that 2018 Great Lakes Regional meet, like, that's a meet I'm absolutely never gonna forget, because essentially the same 7 minus the junior that graduated early with me were on the line, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I remember watching the Great Lakes Regional meet. I pretty much watched both the men's and women's race via FaceTime with a couple of different teammates.
Oh, dude, that's what you got to go to Facebook and Facebook Live it. That's what we did.
Hey, you know what, Spence? We should go watch that, like, in person next year.
Yeah, well, where the hell is it gonna be?
Who cares?
Just go.
Road trip?
No, we should all. Yeah, no, but by that time the podcast should be big enough that we can all just go, and then we'll live podcast it from there, like FlowTrack does.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
we'll just compete with like a tiny fucking flag that says unattached and just.
I
what
love
you got
it.
on D2 though, Spence? Because you wanted this Tyler. I think Tyler, you may have heard, but Tyler can also hop in on this because either way, this is fucking mad. But how D2 do, Spence?
Adams State just pretty much destroyed everybody on the women's side. Originally, the scoring count was 19. It has since been corrected to 23.
Oh, fucking pathetic. Only 23 in a giant national caliber meet.
That's insane.
What were their places? Go ahead, run it down.
1, 2, 3, 6, 11, 22, 27. And that's
oh my
just
god,
points.
they had 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, they had 1, 2, 3.
And 6.
Yeah, that's
and
okay.
6.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
well.
6.
Relatable.
So they had 1, 2, 3, 6, 13, which is their scoring 5. And then 6 was 31st. So they had 6. I believe they had 6 All-Americans that day. They might have had 7. Let me double check that.
Fuck me. Well, didn't you say their 7? Yeah, if their 7 was 23, then yeah, that's an All-American.
Hold on. I'm double and triple checking. 22. Yeah, 25 was 6 and 7 was 30. Yeah, they had their whole team that lined up at the national meet were all Americans in Division 2.
Nonsensical.
This race wasn't even close. Grand Valley State was the team who finished second. Do you want to guess how many points they were behind?
How many?
64.
Oh my god.
I was going to guess 40, but...
And then-
64 works too.
Yeah, and then Mines was third behind Grand Valley State.
Oh, Colorado School of the Mines?
Yeah, Colorado School of the Mines.
Yeah.
They were 56 points in back of Grand Valley State. And Western Colorado was 59 points behind them. Just to give you an idea of this point spread.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like, that was by far... I had it going over the speakers in my car, and I had it set up on like a...
Wait, you had what set up? I'm lost.
I had my phone set up where the Division 2 meet was playing over the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it set up in like a hands-free type of thing. And I would glance over from time to time, and every time that they said, oh, and the Adams State trio breaks away again, I'm like, I look over briefly, and it's them with about 80 meters separation to fourth place.
Jesus.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was on my way to meet someone for a run, and And I remember watching this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's happening? But like I'm kind of dumbfounded. But I mean, that I feel like that's just how Adams State rolls.
They've always been, because they had at least on the men's side they used to have Sydney Gitabude, who's on Tinman now.
Yeah.
Sydney, get the booty.
That guy's seriously fast.
Yeah, he's obscenely fast. And then, how was D2 on the men's side? Because you've just been talking about the Adams State women the entire time. How'd the D2 men's side go?
Adams State men were runner-up. Chico State, shout out to Kyle Medina of Simple Athletics now. Yeah, that's Chico State is Kyle Medina's alma mater. They were third. Grand Valley State was fourth. And Mines actually won it on the men's side with 57 points. On the men's side, this race wasn't even close. It was 79 points separating Mines and Adams State.
Fuck. 79 is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Mines scoring numbers: 4, 7, 13, 16, 17.
God damn.
So let's see. It's
a tighter spread than Adams State, but not as many low stakes.
That's in places. That's 4th, 7th, 15th, 18th, 20th.
Oh, are you excluding the individual?
Yeah, and 38th. And I believe Mines they either had 6 or 7 All-Americans on the.
Yeah, I mean, if you just named off who you named off, then yeah, because All-Americans are not. I don't think. Oh no, but All-Americans would include individuals. Yeah, you're right. So I think it would have only been their 6th if their 7th guy was outside the 30th.
I was gonna say, is it top 40 for national? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can never remember whether it's 35.
I know it's 35 for all region. I think it might be.
Yeah. Whatever. Who cares? No one here is.
I was gonna say it doesn't matter. Mines just blew everybody away.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mines and Adams State, and I think Chico State.
Tired, Shreyas?
Yeah. That was about to be my hard transition to CIM, but I'll let Spence finish up.
I heard that.
And I think the top 3 schools all train at altitude. I know Mines and Adams State do. I'm not 100% sure about Chico State.
Altitude is a cheat code.
Yeah, especially if you're Adams State.
Up,
Have
left,
you seen their
right,
workout Wednesday?
Triangle. Oh, the 14 by 1600 or the 14 by 600?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was fire. Dude,
it's
that
crazy.
guy had some sick hair up front.
I need to watch that again.
The dude's got like a fro or mohawk of some sort with like rainbow colored hair. It was fucking sick. All right, CIM. I think Tyler's got some of this shit on lock.
You know, looking at it now.
I wanted to talk about CIM for a hot minute.
Looking at it now, right? Looking at the elite field that they put out. This was November 25th.
Yeah. By the way, there's little to no information. If you want to find this, it's on Runner Space from November 25th, like Tyler just said. Go on. Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, you're good. I don't. I feel like they're missing people.
No, 100%.
Like they're missing like all of the good people, basically.
Yeah, because I think that elite field is just like everyone minus the huge fucking names that everyone probably will know about.
Yeah, like this is missing just about everybody.
Yeah, because I think it's specifically for Olympic trials hopefuls, like people who are ideally looking to make it in. It's not going to look at the big name elites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't really know who's running it. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Well, who did you have before? Because I know you've been wanted to talk about it for a while. And
well, I don't know. I don't know who's firm down for it. Is the thing.
I did see that's true. John Buskey was firm down for it.
I could like individually go to like try and search through like Instagram profiles for like
the full article
or something, but
the full article on Runner Space has the full elite field.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
That's what we were looking at.
There's no way because men's elite, it's got Alicia Barno, Josephat Boyd, and Andrew Lamancello.
Yeah.
And
Lemoncello. It's just Lemoncello.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Lemoncello.
It's just Lemon Jello. Okay.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
we've got the
I'm
only
sure you
one
said that
thing I
400,000 times.
recognized was CJ Albertson, who's a guy I've followed on Strava for a while now, who's run
Mhm.
some obscene shit. I think a couple weeks ago he ran a 50K on a track for
Ew.
God knows what, and on
Wow.
route to that he split like a 2:30 mid marathon. I forget what the purpose of it was for, but I just saw it on Strava and I was like, this is wild. So again, this is CJ Albertson.
And he's got a 2:14.49 PR as well.
Yeah. And then other than that, the only other person that I had that I wanted to hype up was my teammate and former All-American and former roommate, Grant O'Connor. Spencer's definitely heard of.
Oh yeah,
I
believe is he a multiple-time national champion?
Yeah, multiple-time national. He won the 5K. I think he has gotten second place in the 10K a couple years back. But yeah, he won the 5K for nationals. He's a pretty quick dude. Cross-country All-American, very fast. And so he is running CIM. He's been training for it. I believe he's had a couple bumps in the road, but knock on wood, my guy is a hustler if I've ever seen one. Because in freshman year, he was doing 70 miles a week with doubles, where in the morning he'd pretty much run up this hill that we call Detroit as part of his morning run. So like this guy is voluntarily seeking hills for his morning run. So that in itself gave me an idea of what kind of guy he is. Absolutely fast. He is, I believe, currently semi. I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth or confirm anything, but I believe semi-sponsored by Topo. And the only reason I say that is that they very recently released a shoe that I might cop called a Zephyr. And he is actually modeling that shoe. And he's running Topos for a long time now. I actually have a pair because I wanted to try them out, and I really enjoy them. So, this is unpaid sponsorship by Topo. And yeah, I think he's going to do very well. He hasn't run a marathon yet, but I think he'll take to the distance pretty well. His training's been going like incredibly well. He's also been running with a former RPI alumni named Jake Andrews, who's been popping off some incredible workouts in his build-up to CIM right now. And I think he's run some workouts with Jake as well. And one of the workout examples that I saw that I think I've also stated on this podcast before was where they pretty much did like 1 or 2 miles easy and then did the next 18 miles alternating at marathon pace and a little bit slower than marathon pace or a minute slower. So they'd be going like 5:15, 6:15, 5:15, 6:15 all the way for the next 18
That's a
miles.
hard workout. That's a son of a bitch to complete.
Yeah, and I think they've both individually done it. I think Grant's done it like twice now, according to his log, and Jake has done it like 3 or 4 times now. So they've both just completely beat the shit out of marathon training. So I'm very excited to see how those former RPI alumni do at CIM. That's all I got on CIM because I just wanted to hype up my ex-teammates. I never actually ran with Jacob Andrews when he was on the team, but he's run with us while we were on the team before. So just want to hype my guys.
Well, you know exactly what they'll be going for.
Oh, yeah, they're going straight for that OTQ. I think they're just trying to
And I mean, there's going to be a ton of guys in that ballpark, too, so...
Yeah, they're not fucking around. They're just going straight for it.
Peter Bromka.
And they're definitely in the fitness.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Spence. That's
Peter
one of the
Bromka
only names that I
Bowerman.
recognize on here.
Yeah, Peter Bromka is going for it. If you're not
BTC
familiar with who Peter Bromka is, I believe we talked a little bit about him in one of the earlier podcasts where he basically said, bring more dreamers and you'll have like that miniature running boom again if you make the men's Olympic trial standard like 223 or 225.
Yeah.
Which I think that is a very, very arguable point on both sides. I would like to see it go back to 225, obviously, because that lets a lot of people who are in like that 227 to 233 range think, oh, this is like I could actually do this and step on the line. And then if you think about it in that respect, like when you have those people line up, there's no fucking way like those people. They're like, there's no way you don't do it, number one, but there's also no way you're going to the fucking Olympics.
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying.
There's like 5 guys who are vying for 3 spots. That's always what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think this time there's like 7, but...
Yeah. We also got 2 names that I recognize here from Heartbeat Track Club. John Buskew, who I think Spence mentioned earlier, and Everett Hackett, who I don't personally know, But I know they're members of Heartbeat because another teammate of mine, Sean O'Connor, runs for Heartbeat. But I don't believe Sean is running CIM, unless I'm mistaken and have just not read his log in a while.
I was gonna say, how's Busky been doing
I have no idea. Like I said, the only people who I know in their build-up are going to be Jake and Grant because they were former RPI alumni, and I can see their logs. Same with Sean. I believe Sean is transitioning to the marathon distance now that he's run some pretty fast times, and he's like built up his aerobic stuff with the half marathon and shit. John and Everett, I literally I know them by name only, and only by association through Sean and Grant. So I am not in a league to call those people friends.
Fair enough.
I am sure they would love to be friends with you, though.
Oh, of course.
Big facts.
And good luck to everybody running, basically.
Guys.
I'm looking at the women's right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, women's. There's a.
I don't
really
recognize
solid.
a single name.
I mean,
I think Tara Welling is a name that I recognize, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is her debut.
Actually,
this is
I'm looking
her debut
at
at the distance.
I'm looking right now. There's someone named Mary Schneider running, and that is actually my aunt's maiden name, Mary Schneider.
I do want to
Tyler's
mention.
aunt is going for an OTQ confirmed.
Yeah, definitely.
I do want to mention that this is Tara Welling's debut at the distance. I'm not sure how she's done in the past, but that's going to be interesting to follow. But
yeah, any debut at CIM is always going to be interesting to check out.
I wish we had the full list.
Yeah, I really do. Because
once we have it, we'll have to.
Very old.
We'll
have to preview this as soon as the actual start list comes out.
Yeah.
What I want.
So I don't want to cover this too much.
No, I just find this interesting. What I want to note is in terms of most major city marathons. Granted, for a lot of people, this is one of your two last ditch efforts to, if you're in the United States, that is to be an Olympic trials qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of that pack that's 244 to 247. I literally can count 20 or 30 women that are in the neighborhood of 244.56 to 247.55.
Yeah.
So.
And then surprisingly, there's only 12 or 13 of them between 240 and 245. So you're really stacking the back half there to try to get people in, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
I hope all of them make it.
And then the men's field is doing the same because let's see. There's 2:18:59 in Grayson Huff. We're going strictly off of PBs here, which that is an Olympic trials qualifier. So we're looking at Grayson Huff, and we're going all the way back to about 2:23. There's a solid
25
or 30 guys. Yeah. And then there's another 10 or 15 guys that are from 2:24 to 2:25. So I feel like CIM and Houston in an Olympic year do this, and it's almost notorious. But everyone goes to CIM because if you want to get a full training cycle out of running the Olympic trials, CIM's your last ditch effort. But there's just so many people just stacked from the last seconds in terms of men's and women's to 2 or 3 minutes outside, which I feel you can easily make up and or lose in a marathon depending on how you.
What else we got?
I was just gonna say just very briefly because this is the only thing I have left on CIM, and to be honest, I think CIM is one of the last things we officially have. But there's this Let's Run thread about this guy who has set up ideal splits mile by mile based on elevation terrain, and a lot of people are corroborating that they found his stuff helpful from last year. So basically, he takes in the terrain to determine what kind of split you want to hit in order to match your goal time that adjusts and accounts for the elevation. which is just really interesting. And the sheer fact that there's, I think, about 3 or 4 people in here that are corroborating his stuff for about a 240 to 250 marathon is actually pretty impressive.
Do you want to link that? Because I want to check that out post-podcast. And we'll actually drop that in the show notes just so you guys can check it out as well.
Yeah, there's also a link to something really else called the pace calculator, which very specifically looks up races. But he says he specifically indicates that his data is more precise because it uses more, it like takes in shorter segments of elevation. Plus the pacing calculator one, after mile 10, it pretty much just spits out 635s and 640s, which is like a little bit too simplistic, it seems, than like having a little bit more precise. But I assume after a certain point towards the back end of the race, most of your splits are going to be more or less near each other, since the elevation doesn't differ a whole lot towards the end of the race.
Also, I just want to point out, I found a troll comment. The username is Elliot's Worst Nightmare. And it says, I like that spreadsheet. Goal 159.39.
Nice.
I just find that comical.
You gotta, as long as you say anything in Eliud Kipchoge names, then it's immediately a meme on Let's Run, I feel like.
Yeah.
Speaking of memes, this is a thread which is a huge callback to, I think, episode 1, official episode 1, not episode 0, where we discussed Julia Webb and the fact that she found blood on her treadmill that she believed to be that of Jesus. I do not intend to say the Lord's name in vain. I'm sorry. But she very recently broke the half marathon world record for a mom and daughter to be running together. So yeah, I believe this is all. Actually, no, I'm not going to get religious with it. That's sketchy as hell. But yeah, so Julia Webb and her 10-month-old daughter have just run the half marathon world record for both of them. I'm hunting this article quickly. They came in 81:24, so faster than I ran this weekend with a phone and earbuds and overdressed. But yeah, so while she was pushing the stroller, she ran somewhere in the vicinity of 6:12 pace for a half marathon. And yeah, now has a Guinness World Record. Very impressive.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
You, Julia.
That's cool.
That's impressive. 6:12 pace pushing a stroller. Yeah, I'm not signing up for that.
Yeah, I think. Okay, Spencer, among all of us, you're comfortably in the easiest shape to do it.
Yeah, but I'm still not signing up.
6:12 pace for you is a fucking stroll on a nice weather day.
I still can't believe
depending on the day.
Posting in the official Let's Run community President Donald J. Trump thread. I still can't believe people are posting.
There's also down.
Why is that a thing?
Which has still been going forever.
I don't know, but there's like, okay, currently there's 3,897 pages.
Oh my god!
Of comments.
Holy shit!
There's 77,923 comments in it.
Good grief!
Which I talked about how it passed Down Goes the Dow, but
yeah,
it doubled it now.
Just eyeball a funny one. What you got?
Well, I already posted the one in the Discord. We've got one titled WW2 Casualties in Today's Perspective by Rain Man, and the I is a 1.
That's an important note.
Yeah. He's really got some nice breakdowns in here, I'm going to be honest with you, but I don't know what this has to do with running.
Yeah, we should. I mean, if we're desperate, I feel like we might as well just go for it, because it's news. Because I feel like the back end of the podcast is always just us fucking around. So
I've scoured this one, and it's 3 pages for like anything funny or like troll-like. It seems like everybody's taking it kind of seriously, which is even more terrifying than if they were just making jokes.
Yeah. Well, I guess we have actual news. I guess we could still probably address where we got Jorgensen and Mo Farah moving back to the track.
That.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't even. I watched the video that she posted today about it. And I agree with everything she said. This is something I think that Jerry and her have had planned for a while.
Well, yeah, okay. She's a 2:36 marathoner. She's not going to be on a playing field at the marathon. She's
At the trials.
Yeah, her 31:55 10K speed, however,
says something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think we talked about this maybe in episode 1 or 2. I can't remember when we talked about this, but just like the ideology of like having done multiple half and full marathons and having that like huge aerobic base of doing like 100 120 miles a week at altitude with Shalane Flanagan for like 4 or 5 weeks at a time, and then going down to sea level and racing a half, then going back up for 3 weeks and doing that again, and then going down to like sea level again. And
I think you're taking a really long time to say that that's going to be good for her for the 10K.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah,
you read my mind
for sure. That will help. I still don't.
And it also helps that she has more teammates to do workouts with, so yeah, more fuel to the fire there.
Mm-hmm. And with Mo Farah, what do you guys think his odds are on medaling?
Not the worst.
Not the worst, but not as high as they used to be.
Yeah, I'm like.
I think Cheptegei would smoke him, to be quite honest.
Unless, I mean, he's got time to turn around, but I don't know. What about you, Tyler?
I think he's got a 50-50 shot at medaling.
At medaling? Wow.
At medaling.
I mean, to be fair, it's not probably the worst take, because he's been gone and his marathon has been declining.
Yeah, his 2016 10K and 5K, like, he barely squeaked it out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say he barely won that one.
And that's gonna be 4 years from then when, the Olympics come around. I think you could say Cheptegei can cleanly take it over just about everybody. So that leaves 2 spots for him to, get into. Well, this is also assuming that Cheptegei is picked for the 10K.
I think he will be. I mean, he is.
No, I know. I just like to make
world
jokes about
cross
it.
champion. Yeah.
I don't know. Like who else do we have in the 10K? Like, realistically.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not following.
Jeffrey Camerwar, if he steps down from the half marathon.
Yeah, that's true. Because the half marathon is not an event, unfortunately, which would be tight. But
that'd be great if it was a half marathon. If that was an event, the half marathon, I'd fucking eat that shit alive. No, I'm being serious. Like, I think.
No, I agree with you.
I think half marathon racing is genuinely like very interesting because half marathon pace is so close to tempo pace that like, at least when I've done it, like I've grinded out 9 or 10 miles at like close to my tempo pace, and then I've always faded to like closer to marathon pace, but not quite marathon pace.
Yeah.
So like it's just like such a fine line that like I've figured it out a little better than the marathon, but like I haven't seen like the line in the sand because I race at like a 10-mile tempo and then hang on for 5 kilometers, which is probably a stupid way to race it, to be quite honest.
All right, well, here's who we got from 2016 who are in the 10K. You got Mo Farah, Paul Tanui, Tamarat Tola, Igrim Demelash, or I don't know how to pronounce that. You got Rupp, who is not running the 10K. You got Cheptegei, Muchiri, Tadesse.
Tadesse could be.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that's another one of those guys that's a half marathon specialist like Camerwar. So,
but
I think the half marathoners will give Mo money.
I don't know about Tadesse strictly because he's 37 years old.
I wouldn't count him out though. If
it comes down to a like a tactical kick, like almost all Olympic 10Ks do, I don't know about him in that. You got Leonard Career. I'm going through the ones who might be relevant. I mean, you got Zane Robertson. Mohamed finishing. He was the last person to finish in 2016. So
you mixed him up so many times in the earlier podcast.
What?
When one of the earlier podcasts, you mixed up Mohamed and Mo Farah.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Whoops.
But don't worry, both of them are in this.
I think Mohamed, he's in good shape. I don't know about medaling next year, but you never know.
I mean, you can't count out any of the BTC guys.
I mean, so you got Kimura and Cheptegei, who are shoo-ins for medals, basically. Assuming they both run it.
Evan Jager's supposed to be back on track, so we'll see if he got some steeple in him. He's healthy again.
You think he'll break 8?
I don't know about breaking 8. He's been injured for a long-ass time, but, I mean, the man's showing some fucking balls on him when he comes back from injury, so we'll see.
I wish when he was, in his prime before he got injured, that he would have just ran the mile, or the 15.
I don't think he ever had much success in the 15 or the.
Well, at one year he was our fastest guy in the 15.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he got outclassed pretty quick.
Oh yeah, once
you got people who could kick very hard.
Once Centra started rounding into form.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just interesting. I don't know what else we got.
On the pro front, I think.
No, not the any goddamn front there is.
I mean, I did kind of briefly want to mention at least some races that I've
you wanted to go through your schedule, right?
Yeah, at least races that I've outlined as goal races and
go for it.
Races
for those of you that don't know, even though this podcast is called Unattached, I believe Spencer is actually part of a club. And
I am a part of a club
if this hasn't been established already, Spence is fast.
He's attached.
So yeah, he's very attached to running. So go ahead, Spence. Give us something to look forward to. You fast.
Yeah, so with the winter season coming up, I don't necessarily want to step on the track too many times unless I'm running a 5K. So I've talked it over with both of my coaches, as I have two coaches. Yeah, I have my college coach and my assistant from college both giving me outlines. They work in tandem essentially.
They're acting as coaching advisors.
I guess you can say that. I say I have two coaches because one will give me stuff based on minutes and the other will give me stuff a little faster than tempo at 15K pace or something along those lines. And they will each give me a plan and they will split out of the month. They will do 2 weeks at a time.
How's that work? Because I feel like you have to mix and match elements of both in order for that to be effective.
I don't know if you guys missed it, but I made a joke about Paula Radcliffe.
No, go for it. I think I definitely blanked.
I said they're acting as coaching advisors.
Oh yeah,
Nobody laughed.
I heard it, and I thought you were just being a little funny, but I didn't even think about that. That's so right.
I mean, I don't necessarily have to mix and match stuff because I just run my easy day paces for if I get minutes based, the allotted amount of minutes, and it usually shakes out to be around the same mileage. However, when my former assistant, who is now one of the two coaches who advises me, yes, I guess we're going that route.
Yeah, go ahead.
He'll give me hard mileage goals. So he told me this week, do a 13-mile midweek long run, 17 miles on Sunday, a 6-mile threshold, and then Friday we either had a track race lined up or a workout, and obviously we elected for the workout, which I believe I made a mention to earlier. which is going to be 3x2K on the track. And before that, I'm going to do a 2-mile tempo on the roads. So we're kind of like
That sounds fucking awful.
We're mixing and matching like roads and track and speed and threshold stuff. That way, I'm still building that aerobic base, but it's not like that marathon specific aerobic base.
How the hell are you
Fair
up to a 17-mile long run already?
It doesn't take that long, I feel. At least for those of us who are used to it, it's not. It'll probably take me by the end of the month. I'll be back to 17 to 18.
Spence, you should turn into Jerry Lindgren. just go for like 200-mile weeks.
Yeah,
that would be
just Cam Levins at triple.
No.
Also, when are we tripling? Ugh. Gross. When are we racing a 200? Can we do that on an indoor meet, Spencer? Let's both sign up for one.
Yeah, you will not catch me running a 200. My coach would
on a bank.
My coaches would probably kick my ass.
I would hope so.
They'd be like, dude, what the literal fuck are you doing running a 200 at Capitol or whatever?
You don't have to tell them.
Yeah. I mean, I log everything, so it's not like they wouldn't find out.
All they see is an indoor running on Strava, and it's 200 meters.
200, just a 200 sprint.
It says like new PR, 24.9.
Oh, they would know, trust me.
Or something.
But
that'd be funny.
But there's 2 confirmed goal races and one that I have more or less in the works, but I'm still working out very fine specific details for that race. And if I get it before the next podcast, we'll make sure to drop that in the show notes. So I do plan on racing a 5K at Otterbine's season opening meet, which we ran at last year when I was a senior in college. That 5K is going to be a pretty solid tune-up for when I go down to Clearwater, Florida in February and run the Publix Gasparilla half marathon.
Still a half marathon? Come on, man.
Are you wearing the next percents for that 5K?
Yeah, probably.
Cheater.
So are you planning to like fully race the next percents until you go to the marathon?
Because
I feel like a 5K, you might as well whip out a pair of spikes for that.
But I'm also like on the roads more times than I'm on the track, so
fair.
So it's kind of like practice what you race in type of mentality for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which is why I'd opt for next percents on an indoor track. Even though my coach was probably like, dude, wear fucking spikes.
Do you wear like do you wear the next percents for like your 3x2K on Friday?
I probably will. Since I have 2 pairs, I have one that's race only and one that I have almost 300 miles on.
How are those holding up?
They're actually holding up pretty good.
That's good. It probably also has to do with you weighing like 125 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
There's like, how's the wear like on the outside? Because I've seen some bad pictures of them.
It shows more in the heel, but
because it's exposed. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely shows like more on the back part of the shoe than where there's like that black like blown rubber material that like increases the durability a lot. It's a very like the pattern is like very dissimilar to the Peg Turbos, but like the blown rubber material that the original Peg Turbos had on the bottom in the forefoot and a bit in the rear, it's very similar in that regard, and it still looks pretty good on the forefoot of the shoe.
Nice. Always gotta go for the aesthetic.
So yeah,
is there a difference in feel between the 2 pairs that you have?
I did whip out the race only pair for my 7-mile marathon workout as I had like still had intentions on trying to race in December. So I whipped them out just to get a loose feel. since they only have now 49 miles on them, they're a lot bouncier and a lot firmer, I guess you can say. Then
like they're broken into the sense of like they're nicer to run in for your particular like foot strike, or like they're generally just beat down.
The older pair I would say is beat down, but like isn't like beat to death, beat down to where like I can't use the shoe anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Where the new one, it's like, you ever like know when you get a new shoe how it feels like stiff?
Yeah.
It feels kind of similar to that, but it's broken in enough to where like I kind of like realize like the feeling.
Okay, that I guess that makes sense.
It's kind of hard to describe. It's like slightly firmer because I haven't worn that specific shoe since October when I did the 7 mile tempo, and it was the end of November when I wore it. So like the foam had 6 weeks to recover.
Yeah.
So I would think it recovered most, if not all, of its bounce. So it felt, I guess, like a new next percent in that regard. Because I also remember the feeling of racing in a fresh next percent in the Johnny Cake Jog 5 miler earlier this summer. And that was probably like the bounciest shoe that I've ever run in.
Yeah.
Like there, and the other thing, because my senior year for the track, I raced in 4%. Like the feeling between the 4% and the new next percents is like night and day.
Oh,
because like even when it's like even when like the OG 4% that I have were like worn down, like they still had just a gross amount of bounce, just because of like how close the carbon plate was to like the midfoot. And whenever like I struck, it was like such a quick toe off.
Yeah.
That like I got a lot of my energy returned, even when like my OG 4% had 250 miles on them.
Yeah.
However, with the next percent and having 15% more foam in the shoe, like it doesn't feel like necessarily dull. You definitely feel like there's more there. But when it's new and fresher out of the box, or has like a very low amount of mileage on it, it feels like the bounce that the 4% had like originally.
Yeah.
So like
interesting.
It's kind of hard to describe. Like the bounce is very similar, but like just the feeling in how like you feel that bounce between the 4% Flyknit and the OG 4% and the next percent is a bit different.
Do you not wear socks with a Flyknit?
I've
heard you don't have to. Like they're designed so that you don't have to wear socks with a Flyknit.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I have the Zoomfly Flyknit, and the Flyknit it's like this very coarse material.
Yeah.
To the point where I wouldn't necessarily like not wear socks with it.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want any like scraping or cutting or bleeding or anything that would cause me like discomfort while running.
Like blistering and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I want them to put Flyknit Racer uppers on next percents.
That sounds hot.
Doesn't it?
You mean like Kipchoge had in Berlin 2018?
Maybe.
Because
Let me Google. Hold on.
I believe that was a Flyprint Vaporfly Elite or something like that.
That's Vapor. That's that's Flyknit.
Yeah, it was Flyknit, not Flyprint. That's what I meant to say.
Flyprint.
That is yeah. That's not Flyprint either, actually. That's just Flyknit. Because Flyprint is different. That's like those like black ones that he trained in for a while.
Yeah,
like the multicolored ones.
Yeah, when he raced London that year.
Yeah, these just look like Flyknit, like a custom Flyknit.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I was remembering. It was like a custom, like tailored shoe for him specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what would feel really nice is if Nike gave back the Nike Buy You option to where you could put the OG 4% upper on like the next percent midsole.
Oh,
Didn't they have that for like a couple days?
They had that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you should have got that while it was out there.
Yeah, but it was also like $350.
Yeah, but just like spend money.
Disgusting.
I always I tell myself every time that I think about next percents and how they felt when I put them on. Only my left foot, by the way. My left foot's tainted now.
You only put them on your left foot?
Yeah, because I put it on and I like stepped in it for like 20 seconds and I was like, oh no, if I put the other one on, I'm buying this. I think I talked about this before on here.
Yeah.
You did.
I refuse to spend that much money on shoes, on a single pair of shoes until I'm running like, if it ever happens, like sub 16 in a 5K.
Yeah, that'll be the last episode of this podcast when we get you running sub 16.
That'll be literally like even if I like full on train for the next, up until it happens. I think it would
Believe
still
in yourself.
Well, no, I still think it would realistically take no less than like 3 years.
And that is when we'd be changing the name of the podcast entirely.
To what?
Very attached to our girlfriends, hopefully.
I doubt that'll happen for me.
You never know.
Nah. Spencer,
You're gonna meet somebody tomorrow.
Yeah, all right.
On a long run.
Spencer's gonna beat both of us to getting a girlfriend.
Yeah, I doubt that. Dude, I've been single for like 5 years. Come on now.
So
hey man, it's not that big of a deal.
That doesn't stop anyone. I was single for 20 years.
Okay.
I think 19. I think 19 and a half. I'll give myself that half year. It counts for something.
Whatever you say, I guess.
Doesn't really matter that much, my man.
I'm leaving that pause in for sure. All right.
Yeah.
But do we got anything else, or are we just gonna outro this bitch?
I got nothing.
We can cut out that whole thing right there if you want.
I mean, I don't really care.
No, we're totally leaving that in.
Okay.
We're just gonna make this.
It's kind of sad a little bit, isn't it?
This is the welcome
to our
Unattached.
personal lives.
Yeah, welcome to us just crying for 20 minutes.
I think it's fucking hilarious though, to be honest.
What that we're single? What a dick.
That's not fun. It's not funny.
Just like
it's not really anything. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just like poking fun at that fact. I think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Because that's all I was doing that whole time.
True.
But yeah.
Pause.
We love our pauses up here in Unattached.
Okay.
How long have we been going? Like an hour?
It's a 45? It's a trade secret. Oh, it's approaching 2 hours for sure.
Oh dear.
Yeah. With that being said, anything that we're looking forward to at all?
Training.
CIM.
Properly. CIM.
Wearing my new Vomeros tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to post a pic in the Discord.
You will. You're gonna have to post. I'm looking forward to seeing it on Strava.
What, the run or?
Yeah, the run.
Yeah, it's gonna be like no less than 2 miles, hopefully. I'll force out 2 miles if I feel bad.
Get that 30 whole ass minutes. I believe in you.
Oh, dear God, dude, are you kidding me? 3.5 miles, 4 miles?
No, I said 30
that.
minutes. 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's usually what it translates to.
Yeah,
somewhere between 3.5 and 4 miles for me.
There you go.
I don't like the sound of that.
Did you say you like it or don't?
No, not at all. With the way I feel right now, absolutely do not like the sound of that.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're still recovering from a banana. Well,
I still find that hilarious.
A bomb went off inside of me.
Shafting you.
A bomb went off inside of me, basically.
Yeah. That banana did you dirty.
That's pretty much TLDR right there.
Yeah. If you guys haven't listened to the entire podcast and are just now coming to the outro,
How?
First of all, we don't know how.
How have you managed that? Second, what were you saying?
Just skipped ahead. Oh, I was just saying, Tyler has had a bomb go off in him. I got beat by a girl in my half marathon.
Which is fine.
Adam State woman went the fuck off.
And we covered some potential races.
Nah. That's it. Outro.
NCAAs.
That's it. TLDRs can't be longer than like 2 sentences.
Oh.
It's a rule.
mean, that was.
It would be a TLDL, but
yeah,
it's too long to listen.
Yeah.
It should be strange for somebody to do.
that's what this podcast should be renamed to.
I literally can't believe we have how many? Like 25 weekly
25 listeners.
Unreal.
Like that's. I mean, it's projected. I don't know if that really takes into account many repeats, but it seems legit. So I will believe the hype for the time being.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Shout out to everybody who listens to these.
Yeah.
We don't put a whole lot of effort into these, if we're being real.
No. We put all the effort in the world into these.
They're very fun to do. I'm not the one. I'm not the one editing these.
Well, it's honestly not that bad to edit. Sometimes it gets a little bit annoying, but otherwise it's not bad. As you may have heard earlier, the pauses are sometimes a little bit fun to do, but other than that, we don't really have a whole lot that's quite troublesome, as one might say.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I got. Yeah.
Spence, outro us.
With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Like we mentioned, we really do appreciate you guys listening and sticking with us through whatever technical difficulties that we've had thus far.
Or bullshit that we say.
Yeah, you guys have made us a lot of money by listening.
Yeah, 20. You said 20 something, right?
It's like 25.
We're nearly at 6 cents a person, guys. That's wild. That's nutty.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, we thank you for listening. We thank Anchor, the website, and the app that we use.
No, the sponsor plug will already be inside.
Yeah, did we say in the beginning that we're on Apple Podcasts now? Or we have been?
I did say that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Anchor.fm and the app does help us put a lot of this together for you guys. And
are we just skipping the ad run?
No, we
already put the ad in here. Why are we doing it again?
No,
this episode is brought to you by Squirrel's Nut Butter. As always,
I'm just curious because I don't really. At least, I mean, yes, of course, we love Anchor because they let us do whatever the fuck this is. But
but I mean, like the help with like placing mid-roll ads and like beginning like intro and outro music and just like kind of odds and ends things with the podcast helps an absolute ton. If we didn't have that, I think we'd be completely lost.
Nah, I'd just be a fucking bitch to edit. That's it.
Yeah,
because then I'd have to go onto YouTube.
This has been the Unattached podcast.
I'm Spencer Mahon.
I'm Shreyas Sriram.
And I'm Tyler Bowman.
Thanks guys for listening.
Outro with Roll to Me by Delamitri.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
You're going to have to type that in. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know, you're good. You're good.
Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next mile.
Gang related.
Now, Craig, get the hell out of here.
I thought you were going to cold close with gang related.
No. I can't do that yet.
I can cold close with Pill Guy Raps Fast.
All right, you want to do that after I attempt gang related?
No, I'm absolutely not doing that. I was kidding.
Actually, I'll try. I'm not gonna.
I'm putting Roll to Me in here. It's a banger. You've probably heard this one.
Get down and lay down. Hit you with a Beretta, you better stay down. Straight shots on the playground. Living how I'm living with the left that I'm giving anybody that's riding with me. I'm riding with the. Show me the enemy and I'ma hit him. The second I hit him, I get him, I hit him with the bend. No need to pretend I'ma never do it. I knew it already, been through it. I do it for the street, for the fam, for the laugh. Anybody that's gang related.